Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
We have ourselves a beautiful night for baseball here in Seattle. The Angels took game one of a three-game series last night, have won all four meetings thus far against the Seattle Mariners, and tonight from Safeco, it is game number 2. We welcome you inside this beautiful ballpark and back to Angels baseball on Fox Sports West. He's Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and for the Angels last night, lo and behold, another come-from-behind victory, although they battled back a couple of times, but some late-inning heroics from Cole Calhoun, Cameron Maybin.
Yeah, Victor, when you think about it, this team has been resilient, considering all the injuries they've had, especially the pitching staff. The offense, though, has come through of late, especially late in the ballgame. Cole Calhoun, what a swing he had against Diaz, a guy that throws 97, 98 miles an hour. He put himself in a good fastball count, got the fastball down on the 3-1, and drove it out for a 2-run home run. You see that energy in that dugout and in the clubhouse. And then the defense. Cameron Maybin goes back on this baseball, goes one way and then reaches back. He calls it go-go gadget arms to be able to ping that one back. What an outstanding play to preserve at that point the lead, flipping that baseball up. Both got us on that one arrow, that pop-up. It was going to be out of the ballpark. But then Albert Pujols driving the ball with authority the other way. Gamble was unable to make that play, and Mike Trout comes all the way around to score. We got run there, but got to give credit Albert Pujols' swing. Staying back on that baseball, the RBIs continue for Pujols because he's driving the ball the other way with a little more authority this year than we saw in the past.
Yeah, Albert coming into play today with a 289 batting average with men in scoring position. They'll need some more of that today with Hisashi Iwakuma on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. We're going to step away right now. When we return to Safeco Field, we'll talk a little bit more about Albert and Mike Trout. And Trout hustling around the bases last night. the Angels and the Seattle Mariners. Gooby, last night it wasn't just about the bats, it's guys using their legs.
Some good running last night for the Angels. And take a look at our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Mike Trout, a good read on this baseball. Hit well by Albert Pujols, but he had to make sure that baseball got down first. And then once it got by Gamos, he was on the move once again. Cut that angle there to be able to get quicker to the plate. Picked up Ron Renneke and was able to score, sliding in that go-ahead run. Great base running. And then Albert Pujols at second on that double. The walking lead runs in and picks up his first steal of third since 2013. Ends up scoring on a ground ball by Anderson Simmons. What a base running effort by Albert Pujols. And Victor, you are saying that was a great one.
It was a great stolen base for Albert Pujols. We're just about ready for baseball here in Seattle. Sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. By our local Southern California Land Rover retailers. By Jack in the Box, come try the new guacamole and bacon chicken sandwich only at Jack in the Box. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. It's good to see the roof open here at Safeco Field on a beautiful night for baseball. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Halos taking the opener last night in 11 innings. 6-4 the final. We'll see what they can do tonight against Hisashi Iwakuma, who has good career numbers against the Angels in several starts. As we take a look at the lineup for Mike Scioscia, the Halos at 15-13 on the season, 3.5 back at the start of the day. We'll have Escobar leading things off at third. Cole Calhoun in right. Mike Trout is in center field, the American League Player of the Month for April, and proud owner of a 15-game hitting streak. Albert Pujols DHing in the cleanup spot. Luis Valbuena gets his first start as a Halo. He's at first base. Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. Ben Revere on his 29th birthday gets a start in left. Cliff Pennington at second base, and Martin Maldonado rounding out that starting 9. He's doing the catching. Taking on the 36-year-old right-hander from Tokyo, Japan, by the name of Hisashi Iwakuma.
Iwakuma's fastball is 84-89. Slider, cut fastball, curveball, and split finger fastball. My go-tos to be successful against him tonight is sit on his off-speed, does not have that fastball anymore. 85.4 mile an hour average fastball, and keep him in the strike zone. He tries to get you to chase out of the zone, keep him in the zone, and square up that off-speed pitch.
Defensively tonight for the Seattle Mariners, very similar to what we saw last night. Heredia, Dyson, And Gamble from left to right. The infield with Seager, Segura, Cano, and Valencia from third to first. Zunino behind the plate.
And Seager at third base won a Gold Glove back in 2014 when his fielding percentage at .981. But since that point has dropped down each year for Kyle Seager, although still very good as far as coming in the baseball. Strong throwing arm, but Gold Glove winner back in 2014.
Escobar ready to lead things off for the Angels. The win last night, now 6-9 out of the road and within the division, 13-8. They've won all 4 games against Seattle this far. Off speed, in tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Adrian Johnson calling the balls and strikes tonight. Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief, at first. Tom Woodring at second. Gabe Morales at third. There's Adrian. Escobar hitting .232, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. And this is out towards center field. It'll chase Dyson back several steps. 1 down.
That ball carried really well. And the Hyundai key for this game go major laser today. Going run up, get an early lead, and keep adding on the runs, especially against Iwakuma before he can settle down. Get some runs. We talked about how well this team has come back into games, but this time get ahead and add on.
Cole Calhoun last night had 1 hit, but he made it count in the 8th inning. 2-run home run off Edwin Diaz, his 3rd home run of the season. Ended up going 1 for 6. .250 batting average. They shift and he skies one out to right. Gamble moving back on it. On the track and shy of the wall will make the catch. Cole just gets underneath it. 2 down.
Now with Mike Trout coming to the plate, now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by the new 2017 Kia Sorento. Mike Trout, the AL Player of the Month. 4th time he's won that award. In 2012 in July, June of 2014, and July of 2015. Ties the record by Chuck Finley, the only other with 4 Player of the Month awards. Some pretty solid numbers in the month of April for Trout. .364 batting average with 18 RBI.
By far his best April of his big league career. 15-game hitting streak. 1 hit last night. It was a double. Also picked up 3 walks. That's fouled off to the right.
So 2 deep fly balls already in this game against Iwakuma. Though great career numbers, 9-5 with a .276 for Iwakuma versus the Angels. But a different pitcher this year, especially with the velocity down about 2 miles per hour from last season.
The average fastball this year at 85, just over 85 miles per hour. Still been pretty good on right-handers. That one is in for a strike. 1-2. Lefties have really touched him up. Batting average over 300.
By the way, Trout's on-base percentage this season so far, .455. That's pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah. 1-2. Off speed and down goes Trout. Iwakuma with a 1-2-3 first. Way to the bottom of the first. Ricky Nolasco taking the hill for the Angels with no score. Start his warm-up pitches here at Safeco Field. Gives us an opportunity to take a look at the starting lineup as presented by Scott Service, the skipper of the Seattle Mariners, currently at 11-16 on the season, tied for 4th and 7 games back in the West. They will have Gene Segura leading things off at shortstop. Ben Gamel's in right field. Robinson Cano at second. Nelson Cruz, the designated hitter. Kyle Seager at third. Danny Valencia at first. Guillermo Heredia in left. He was robbed of the home run by Cameron Maybin last night. Mike Zunino behind the plate. And Sherrod Dyson batting ninth and playing center field. Ricky Nolasco making his 6th start of the season. 2-2. 4.13 ERA. Got a no decision against Seattle in his first start against them earlier this year.
Yeah, but threw the ball very well his last start out against Oakland, going 5 2/3 innings, just 1 earned run off 3 hits. Really reestablished pitches in the strike zone in his splitter.
Segura last night ended up going 1 for 5 with a single and a walk. Had 3 strikeouts. He found this one back. Mariner shortstop comes in batting .308. A .338 on base percentage. Table setter for Seattle. Coming over an offseason trade with Arizona. That's a called strike 3. Adrian Johnson rings up Segura, 1 down.
That's a pretty good pitch and right away for Nolasco.
Not wasting any time as he got ahead and finished him off defensively for the Angels. Revere in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right. The infield with Escobar and Simmons on the left side, Pennington and Valbuena on the right, Maldonado behind the plate.
Yeah, the birthday boy, Ben Revere, out in left field. His 1 assist and 1 error so far. It's his 10th start in left field, turned 29 today for Ben Revere. Atlanta, Georgia native.
Ben Gamel takes a strike.
Almost was around last night in that game to have his birthday turn while the team was still playing. Just this shy of it.
The brisk 4-hour and 40-minute game 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gamel went hitless last night, drew a couple of walks. 7th game now for Seattle is being called back up. 5 for 22. Double a home run and 3 RBIs. Some playing time in right with Mitch Haniger on the disabled list with an oblique strain. Mariners also without Felix Hernandez. Just one of many starters throughout baseball.
It's unbelievable how many starters, real good starters, are out for a prolonged period of time.
David Price still isn't back yet. Noah Syndergaard's gone down for a while. Garrett Richards has been out for a while. Tyler Skaggs, just to name a few, along with Felix Hernandez as Gamble slices it foul. Full count.
There's Felix. You know, all the innings and how many pitches he has thrown. He's still young, but he's been in the big leagues for so long. A lot of mileage on his arm. Very competitive. See those numbers, not like him, with a 4.73 ERA in 5 starts. But still one of the best pitchers. You talk about 4 quality plus pitches he has. AL leader, ERA in 2010 and 14. Former Cy Young Award winner.
Gamble foul tips down into the mid, 2 down. Brings up Cano. Look at Felix's numbers, 2,442 career innings.
Good movement on this 2-seam fastball. Last time out for Nolasco, he threw a lot more 4-seam fastballs than he did 2-seam fastballs as far as percentage of pitches. Over 29%, almost 29.5% 4-seam fastballs. Sinker went down that 2-seamer, but he also threw more split-finger fastballs. Was very effective with the combination of splitter, 4-seam, what he used to be like before, when we saw last year, sinker slider. So change it up his last start out. That was a 4-seam fastball, and that was a pretty good hack at it. Cano with good numbers against Nolasco, 400. 6 for 15 with 2 home runs.
First start Nolasco had against Seattle. He was locked up against Felix Hernandez on April the 8th. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, got a no decision. That's out to right, hit deep. Cole will watch this one going to the seats. 1-0 Seattle as Cano has hit his 5th home run of the season. He tried to go back inside with a fastball.
Eighth home run of the season allowed by Ricky Nolasco. Talked about those numbers. Now 7 for 16. Ran a fastball and it was off the plate. Opened up the hips, was ready, and drove that out with right field. 5th home run, 21st RBI of the season for Cano.
Nelson Cruz bouncing it foul. He finished the night last night 1 for 5. Got credited with a single early on. That extended his 11-game hitting streak on a ball that probably should have been called an error. Hitting .309, 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in. And that's lined sharply past Escobar, who olays it. And it goes to the warning track. Revere up with it. Cruz will stop at first with a sharp single.
Had a split finger fastball, stayed back on that and lined it. And by Escobar at third.
So 2 quick strikeouts by Nolasco. A home run to Cano and a single now by Cruz. Brings up Seager. He'll drive one out to center field. Trout moving back on it. And just shy of the track will put it away. Some sound over the last 3 batters. But 1 run. That's all Seattle gets on the Cano blast. They lead it as we head to the 2nd. We start the 2nd. Robinson Cano with his 5th home run of the season. Giving Seattle a 1-0 lead. Iwakuma with a 1-2-3. First will face Albert Pujols to lead off the 2nd inning.
Iwakuma has really thrown well against Trout and Pujols in their career. Just a 159 combined batting average for Trout and Pujols against them.
1-2-3 first for Iwakuma. Just the second time this year he's retired the side in order to start a game. 2 fly ball outs, a strikeout of Trout. 2 balls and no strikes on Albert. 248, 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in.
Not unusual for Iwakuma to be behind in the count. 59.3% first pitch strikes. And he doesn't give in. He will not throw a fastball in those general, fastball counts. You see where he's going down from last year. 5% dip as far as first pitch strikes for Iwakuma this year as compared to last year.
Albert yanks one down the line, and glove by Seager. 1 out.
And now it's time for the AARP getting to know Luis Valbuena as he coming to the plate in his first start. We saw him in the game last night. 31-year-old, born in Venezuela, had a career-high 25 home runs. It's back in 2015. He's also had 25 or more starts in all 4 infield positions, 13 home runs last year, so combined 38 home runs in the last 2 seasons for Luis Valbuena.
Started his major league career with the Seattle Mariners back in 2008. We'll take a strike. Shift on with Cano out at shallow right. Segura on the right side of second base. Valbuena's played with Seattle, Cleveland, the Cubs, the Astros the last 2 seasons, and now with the Angels. 0-2. He was part of that big 3-team deal with Seattle and Cleveland, as well as the New York Mets back in 08. J.J. Putz, Joe Smith, Franklin Gutierrez, just to name a few of the guys that were involved in that trade. Andy Chavez.
Still remember that play in the playoffs for the Mets going way over the wall against the Cardinals.
Jason Vargas was in that deal. That's old school trade right there. Fouls it back.
I was looking at the shift being put on by the Mariners against Valbuena. Just watching his batting practice, he stays back on the ball so well and lines it the other way. Though with all the all-speed pitches from Iwakuma, they are anticipating Luis trying to pull the baseball.
He'll go down swinging on the off-speed. 2 down. They celebrate Cinco de Mayo on Fridays. They take on the Astros at 7:07. Fans in attendance will receive maracas courtesy of Chronic Tacos. For more information, just go to angels.com/promotions. Second strikeout for Iwakuma. By the way, that was a 12-player trade.
12
between Seattle, Cleveland, and the Mets. Andrelton shoots one out toward right center field. Hit well, but he'll stay in the ballpark as Dyson moves over, makes the catch, and Iwakuma with a quick shutdown inning. Straight to the bottom of the second with Seattle leading it. Find new roads. It's out straightaway center field. Hanging out here at Safeco Field. Always crowded out there.
It's always packed.
Seattle with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of the Cano home run. Danny Valencia to lead things off for Seattle. The first baseman hitting 182. 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Takes a slider for a strike. Valencia hit his second home run of the season last night. Ended up going 1 for 5. First season with Seattle. Finished last year with Oakland. Two balls, 1 strike.
Little slider that kind of backed up on the last go.
Two. Breaking ball.
That was a real good one.
Just got it. Valencia doesn't like the call. Adrian Johnson rings it up. 3rd strikeout already for Nolasco. 1 down.
That had a tight, good break to that one from Nolasco. Gets the call. Just a little bit off the outside corner. Good sharp break to him. Nice job by Maldonado framing that pitch out in front to get that call.
Guillermo Heredia, the left fielder. 308 batting average this year. Almost hit his 3rd home run last night. Ended up going 0 for 3 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Good off-speed pitch.
Curveball. You know, coming in this game, Nolasco on 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts. Batters is 1 for 18 against them. Finished off Segura right away on an 0-2 pitch.
He just fell off a little bit trying to pull that glove side fastball.
Still, it's a good miss, though, because now you can throw a breaking ball on that same plane. You might get him to chase that pitch because it was close enough.
Breaking ball got him. 2 down. Just like the first inning, Nolasco struck out the first 2 batters.
And his fastball has been pretty solid so far, 91, 92, but his slider's been very good. Painting the outside corner, he's mixing some curveballs. He's done that more so of late. Curveballs and split finger fastballs. Mentioned earlier about the percentages of 4-seam fastballs thrown. That's the fastball you're seeing 92 miles an hour.
Zunino takes a breaking ball outside. Commander catchers just hasn't been able to get it going, get offensively. 0 for 2 last night with a couple of strikeouts and a walk before being pinch hit for. 167 batting average. He's ahead of the count at 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, he's one of those hitters right now where he's a very good mistake hitter. And what I mean by that is when you make a mistake over the plate on an off-speed pitch, especially, or a fastball, is when he's looking fastball. He is very dangerous with great power, and he's in a good count now at 2-0. You have to be careful with his power.
Popped him up. Shallow right center field. Trout coming in calling for it. Velasco with a 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the 3rd inning. The Angels down 1-0. Halos down 1-0 as we start the third. Hey, stay tuned for the Business of Sports, brought to you by Auto Nation, featured in tonight's postgame show. Iwakuma's faced 6 batters. He's retired all 6. Gets Revere, Pennington, and Maldonado. The Angels half of the third.
Boy, 81-mile-an-hour fastball or split, that's what he's been throwing. We can give you all the numbers as far as what he has not been thrown as far as velocity, and now his fastball has been getting hit, but he's had a lot of success against the Angels, and he looks comfortable already in this game.
You're in trouble if you're looking fastballs against Iwakuma.
You almost feel like, don't you feel like you can almost move up in the batter's box, or at least crowd the plate? But he doesn't have a fastball to get by you anymore.
Yeah.
That's that splitter down in the dirt.
Made 33 starts last year for Seattle. 16-12 with a 4.12 ERA.
I mean, in our things, our computers, this registered his first 2 pitches splitters at 81. They weren't split finger fastballs.
That's ripped out to right field. Gamble has to go back on it, and will make the catch. Round number 1.
Well, the birthday boy hit that one very well. Big part of the yard there in front of that 380 sign in right center field. Pitch range so far for Iwakuma, best fastball he's had is 85, and that's generally been his average where he's been sitting all year. Oh, it's just that slow curveball he'll throw at 75. His splitters around 77 to 79 range.
Oh, we saw a little bit of this last year as far as we're talking about StatCast or pitch effects. Incorrectly calling the pitches with Jared Weaver.
A lot of times they were calling
on-speed stuff they were calling. It was fastball. Pennington getting to start at second tonight for Danny Espinosa.
I remember that well. Joe Morgan was calling a game when I was with the Angels one day. He goes, "Hey, Mark's got a real good changeup working." I'm like, no, wasn't a changeup. It was my best fastball. So he's really developed. I never knew he had a changeup because I faced him early in my career, Joe Morgan, the Hall of Famer.
That's lined to right. That's going to get down for a base hit. So the Angels get their first base runner. Pennington picks up his 4th hit of the night, or of the season, I should say. Hey, join your Angels on Friday, May 12th. They take on the Tigers at 7:07. Fans in attendance will receive a cooler backpack while supplies last, courtesy of Yakult Probiotic Drink. Just go to angels.com/promotions for more info.
It's Ken Griffey Jr. and Kyle Seager just hanging out watching a game.
Pennington now 4 for 18 on the season. Here's Martin Maldonado. Snap throw to first, and Pennington's able to get back there. Another nice night last night, going 1 for 3. 266 batting average, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, a 356 on base percentage.
The guy that Mike Scioscia likes to put the hit and run on with. That's why you saw a back pick by Zunino. So try to keep Pennington close. Not be surprised if there's some movement here.
Popped up. And it's that breaking ball, little cut fastball. Valencia make the play on. 2 outs.
The adjustment you have to make against Iwakuma if you're a hitter, you have to let the ball travel, and you have to think middle of the field. Trying to pull the slow stuff away, you'll hit pop-ups or baseballs just off the end of the bat. Have to try to stay back and use the middle of the field and then bring him inside at some point, but he doesn't challenge necessarily inside. You're not going to do so when you're throwing 84, 85 with your fastball as much as you used to.
Especially the right-handed batters. You cannot pull him, at least this year. Righty's hitting just 137 against them, and the batting average in balls in play, BABIP, 125 for right-handed batters. Lefties have hit him very well. Pennington with a lone hit from the left side.
And even Ben Revere hit that ball hard. And Cole just missed a home run against him.
And I would imagine it's attributed to the fact that that little cut action or little movement that he has, it's breaking away from a right-handed batter with very little velocity and right into a sweet spot of a lefty swing.
Breaking right into the barrel of the bat of a left-handed batter. And all three have really hit the ball well against him.
Back toward the middle, there's a base hit, and that's kind of the approach you were talking about. Pennington's going to turn and head to third. Dyson's throw comes to second, so the Angels have runners at the corners with Cole coming up and 2 outs.
Real solid swing. A guy with good numbers in his career versus Iwakuma's Yunel Escobar. I mean, in .348 batting average. Hit the ball well himself first at bat. Then would line back up the middle. Stay back, crowd the plate, and lines it back up the middle. Still quick enough, even though that was on the inner half of the plate. It's not going to get you by it with that velocity.
I think that's the pitch for Iwakuma, because he's been effective against righties. It starts off the plate and just has enough movement where it looks like it's going to cut back across over the heart of the plate, and it just jams a right-handed batter.
Yeah, you just got, again, if you let it travel long enough, you can make that adjustment.
Cole just missed one in the first inning, getting underneath it. Skying one to right, so he's 0 for 1.
And when you think about it, fastball, slider, cut fastball, curveball, split finger fastball, all from Iwakuma. Cole with real good numbers last 25 games versus the M's.
Ground ball to the right side, loved by Valencia. Halos are done here in the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning with Seattle on top 1-0.
Part of our Carl's Jr.'s Carl's Cam replay. Fastball goes two-seamer down and away. Fastball to finish off the first 2 batters of the game. Then went a 4-seam fastball that missed location inside, and Cano turned on it. Then the second inning, he's able to get ahead and then finish off with this break ball, the slider off the outside corner. Backed it up again with back-to-back sliders to finish off hitters. With those 4 strikeouts in the game, finish off with fastballs in the first. Finish off with breakables, worthy of a Carl's Cam replay for Ricky Nolasco, changing up from first to second inning.
Nolasco here in the third, facing 9-1-2, Dyson, Segura, and Gamble. Mariners center fielder hitting .227, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs. Backdoor breaking ball misses. Dyson last night 1 for 5 with a single and a run scored. Scored the tying run at the bottom of the 9th when the Cano base hit. It was off Bud Norris. Two-one count. Ricky with 4 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed. Home run to Cano and a single by Cruz in the first inning. full count.
Definitely the guy you want to keep off the bases, especially with the speed on deck, and Segura also.
And that missed outside. A free pass.
Now you're going to see multiple throws over the first base. 8 stolen bases, 10 attempts. As a hitter, these are the times you want to be at the plate. Now you have a pitcher that's going to throw probably more fastballs than normal, and you're distracted throwing over the first base.
Pulled toward third, glove by Escobar. A little time, but turned to double play. 2 down. Nice play by Unell to get that one started.
So back in the day, though, before this slide in the second base, it's a little bit easier as a second baseman. In the past, where a guy can really go in hard and take you out, it's a little bit different. It's our top tier play brought to you by Arco. The high throw and the late slide in there, but still Pennington quick enough with his throwing arm to be able to make that play as far as a 5-4-3 double play.
If you're the Angels, you love the fact that Segura's jumping on that first pitch.
Yeah, that means you've taken away the many throws over the first base, the slide steps. Nolasco does a real good job as far as holding the baseball, though.
Good on speed pitch to get Gamble out in front 0-2.
He had 10 career pickoffs for Nolasco. Throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. He's faced 11 batters, 9 of them strikes. Well, you remember back in those, not that long ago, with those plays, especially a high throw to second base. Boy, as a second baseman or a shortstop, if it's a high throw to the bag, you were getting out of the way as quick as possible. Now you can stay in there even on a high throw and still make a quality throw to first base with that protection now for a middle infielder.
Gamble drives one out to center. Hit well. Trout moving back on him. Jumps up and he can't get it. It's over his head. Gamble racing to second. He's going to slam on the brakes. A 2-out double over the head of Trout to straightaway center field.
See where Trout is playing more so to go the other way for Gamble. Jumps up, tries to make that catch just in front of the wall. Fortunate enough, gets it in quickly to prevent Gamble from getting a triple. Now you have to pitch Cano careful, though Nelson Cruz on deck hit the ball hard his first at bat. But you look at overall numbers career-wise for Nolasco versus Cano versus Cruz, you're more apt to go after Cruz, so don't give anything good to hit to Robinson Cano. See if he can get himself out on something out of the strike zone.
Cano homered in his first at-bat. Pickoff attempt. Gamble's able to get back. Second double of the season for Gamble. One ball and strike.
Seen a curveball and a split finger fastball. pretty good combination. So all on the outside part of the plate. Starts off curveball, splitter, now a two-seam fastball with good late movement.
You don't see that swing from Robinson
No.
too often.
And that's not one of those swings that occasionally with a real good hitter like him would set you up, think you can go right back out. He was fooled by that two-seam fastball with that late movement. Again, if you're going away, you got to keep it down. He hit the ball very well past Hamilton Simmons last night, twice on high fastballs away. Nice play down the line.
In Arlington and here in Seattle, ball girls down the line. Glove work.
Yes. Got a good focus going just in case another one's hit that way.
Breaking ball out towards center. Trout again racing back. Ball has some carry to it. He'll make the catch this time and keep Gamble from scoring. So Cano hits it hard, but doesn't get anything out of it this time. 3 in the books, 1-0 Seattle.
Home run. And speaking of home runs, in Major League Baseball, the second most in the month of April. That's combined home runs. Second most all time. Combining with the National League and the American League, 893 home runs this season in the month of April. Record 2000 was 931. Just saying, baseball's carrying well.
Yep. Trout struck out of the first.
Again, trying to pull that baseball, which is unusual for Mike Trout. He usually stays back on the well and utilizes the middle of the field the other way. Got that 82-mile-an-hour fastball by him upstairs.
Well, back upstairs, or at least trying. Misses 1-2.
And especially when you're throwing 82, 83 as a hitter, you're seeing that baseball so well, but still very difficult to catch up to. Unless you're Mark Trumbo like that fastball upstairs, you remember.
Tomahawk that thing.
Yes.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts for Iwakuma. 2 hits allowed. Both coming into third inning.
Albert Pujols on deck, who lined out to Kyle Seager at third base, his first at bat. Going splitter.
See him back, even just go back 3-4 years ago. When Iwakuma was in the upper 80s, touching 90, 91. Used to be in at the knees. That made that splitter so devastating.
Yep.
Same plane, all of a sudden just disappeared. A little tougher to do when you're living in the low to mid 80s. Foul back.
Seems like a left-handed pitcher because they have that natural movement running away from a right-handed bat. You get away with it, but right-handed pitchers generally do not have a lot of success trying to get an 82-mile-an-hour fastball by major league hitters. Nor does that splitter have that same downward action. Had a very good career both in Japan and in the majors, especially when you look at that win percentage.
Sky down toward the right field seats area goes foul.
Next pitch will be the 8th of this bat for Trout.
Three-two. There's that jam shot.
Now that fastball there, 86 for him.
He helped up.
There's a little four-seam action too, a little cut. That fastball. I would imagine he's going to come back with a splitter now that he's established that fastball inside.
Another payoff pitch from Iwakuma. Trout gets jammed, lifts it out to right. One down.
And here's tonight's Cold Hard Facts, which are brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. Albert Pujols, RBI machine with an RBI last night. Passed Ted Williams with 14th on the all-time list. 1,840th RBI last night, 23 of them this season. Had 119 last year, which is the most he's had since 2009.
Albert 0 for 1 with that line out. Second inning. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
68-mile-an-hour curveball. Now coming in this game, Iwakuma 12 strikeouts, 11 walks, 6 home runs. But so far tonight, he's gotten hitters out in front and allowed them to get themselves out more so than him getting hitters out. As you see right there, after a slow curve, a splitter. So that's a solid split finger fastball there from Iwakuma. That one went straight down at 80.
Oh, 2 again. Albert pulls it foul.
Another nice play.
Seattle getting a run on the first on the Cano home run. 1-2 from Iwakuma. Ground ball left side. Segura has it. 2 down.
Well, Iwakuma continues to get Pujols and Trout out. Now 17 for 111 combined for Trout and Pujols against Iwakuma. Can't say that too often for those two against any pitcher.
So with 2 outs, nobody on. Luis Valbuena at the plate. He struck out at his first at bat. 2 punch outs for Iwakuma.
153 batting average, down from 159 coming into the game. Iwakuma shook off to throw a curveball here.
Not a fully committed swing, so it's 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Check swing foul.
We're talking about throwing off the timing of a hitter. Valbuena, the pitch before, slow curveball, check swing at it. That check swing on a fastball in. And Iwakuma may not have his best stuff anymore, but he has the hitters guessing and guessing wrong so far.
They are so in between right now. One or two. That's what you have to do too when you're at that point in your career where that's where you're living. I mean, you're hitting what they call below the hitting speed.
Yeah.
Weaver accepted it.
Yes, he did.
The last couple of years.
If your ego gets in the way, well, then you try to overthrow pitch, and that's when you run into problems. Well, and you notice with Valbuena, when he's at the plate, when he's getting in that position to be able to load up and be able to hit this pitch from Iwakuma, real relaxed hands. So he doesn't really get into the grip in the bat till just about when the pitch is going to be delivered. See how loose the hands are, and then when the pitch is thrown.
That's off the plate, it looked like, and it gets rung up though. A 1-2-3 inning for Iwakuma, 3rd strikeout. Seattle still on top.
The majors, Marcell Asuno against Snell. And look where this baseball ends up. You talk about squaring up a baseball. Off the wild card sign, a 2-11 wild card for the Rays That is a long way. When we talks about Stanton's power, Osuna, outstanding power himself on display against that flag. And that baseball's crushed.
Yep.
We saw Mark Trumbo hit the American flag there. That's in batting practice, which was unbelievable too.
That's in left center and went over the ring to hit the flag. Cruz drives one out toward right center field. Trout pulls up. This one's off the wall. Cruz with a long single to start this fourth inning. Second hit of the night.
Played real well by Trout. A strong throw in to second base for Trout. We talked about that arm strength he has gained over the last couple of seasons. Back-to-back seasons of 7 outfield assists for Trout. Developed that arm strength by playing a lot of long toss. And this baseball was scolded by Cruz. Out the center field off the wall. Played well by Trout and quickly gets that in to prevent Cruz from getting into second. Still dealing with a leg issue.
There have been some hard-hit baseballs tonight against Rick and Lasco. And this one's off the end of the bat toward right. Cole has to come in on it. One down.
That's 2 pitches he has seen so far, Seager. 2 flyouts.
Hey, you know, earlier we were talking about pitchers going down with injuries. Marcus Stroman tonight for the Blue Jays coming out, according to John Gibbons, with some tightness in his arm.
Yeah, one of my favorite young pitchers and what he did in the World Baseball Classic. High energy pitcher, outstanding stuff. But yeah, it's really unbelievable how many pitchers, really good starting pitchers, are out now on the disabled list. You know, you hear John Smoltz talk about Jim Cott talking about that of late, trying to figure out and explain why, and it's hard to. When you think about guys that are, you know, they work so much harder during the offseason because they don't have to have jobs like they used to do in the past.
Oh, 2. The Angels, for some reason, have somebody getting ready in the bullpen.
It's Petit up already.
He pitched last night. So you wonder if something's going on with Ricky. Did not go, and it's 1-2. Prior to last start, got pushed back a little bit due to mechanical issues. It's not a good sign when you see it, or you take away the hard hit baseballs here.
Yeah.
And you wondered if the way Iwakuma's pitching, you don't want to go too far with Nolasco. That's a call, strike 3. Valencia. It's called down for the second time tonight.
You know, a lot of times you think, okay, maybe they're gonna try to stretch Petit out as far as being a potential starter, but he threw last night, so you know that's not the case. Ran that little 2-seamer towards that outside corner. Pitch presentation once again for Martin Maldonado. Giving Adrian Johnson that look on the outer half of the plate.
Heredia struck out, looking in the second. Velasco with 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits allowed. Two balls, 1 strike. Foul back. Full count.
Got him looking on the slider. Last at bat, 3-2 count. Wouldn't be surprised if he dropped the slider here again.
Got him swinging. Breaking ball gets Heredia. And that leadoff single stranded at first base. We head to the 5th inning. Halos down to 1-0.
By Hyundai. There's no better time to buy a new Hyundai than now. See your local Hyundai dealer or visit buyhyundai.com.
Beautiful night here in the Emerald City. The Halos trailing this one 1-0 as we start the 5th. Trying to figure out Hisashi Iwakuma. Simmons, Revere, and Pennington coming up. Gets the right-hander. Three strikeouts. 2 hits allowed. Hamilton. Fly ball to center field in his first at bat. He's 0 for 1.
One thing, another set of numbers against Iwakuma this year. First time through hitters 175. Second time through 216. And after that, third time through 375 against Iwakuma. This is second at bat for Simmons against him. Yeah, that's a frustrated look right there for Simmons. He had a pitch to do some damage. So more than likely you see a hitter expand their strikes in it, but they knew they had a pitch to crush. Yeah, we were talking about what we were seeing from Ricky Nolasco. Seeing Mike Scioscia going by him and Charles Nagy putting that jacket. Well, now they're going to have a conversation. You wonder if indeed Ricky Nolasco will be able to continue on. If he can move that arm, you know he's going to try. He's always been a very good competitor.
Back up the middle, hits Iwakuma, ricochets right to Valencia, 1 down.
That got him looking right around the knee area.
That sounded like it got him flush too.
Yeah, it looked like it got him on his landing front leg. Yep, and that leg at that point when you land, it's still stiff. Lands, a lot of weight on that knee, and right, maybe just a little bit below the knee, but right square on the leg and over to Valencia.
You've been there.
Yes, and the same result was it ended up being a 1-3. see him trying to put the weight on his landing leg. One like to try to get through this inning, but it's, when he sits in between innings, it's going to be real difficult to continue on. Very effective so far. 4 1/3. There's 2 hits, no walks coming into the game. 11 walks, 12 strikeouts. You see a 1-to-1 ratio, but so far 3 punch-outs, no walks for Iwakuma. There's 56 pitches thrown. And there is some movement already, it looks like, down in the bullpen for Seattle. He's starting to move around to loosen up.
Here's Rivera. Lined out to Gamble in right field, leading off the 3rd inning. So he's 0 for 1.
Well, the old school way would be to make him feel the bunt right now, too.
Corner infielders playing in Seager and Valencia at 3rd and 1st, respectively.
Although Iwakuma is a very good fielding pitcher.
Back toward the middle, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. So Revere's on board. 3rd hit of the night allowed by Iwakuma. And it'll bring up Pennington.
Well, we said the approach you have to have against Iwakuma is hit that ball right back up the middle, and another well-hit baseball right by Iwakuma after that one hit his knee area. Stayed back on it well. See the follow through and right back at him, and this time into the outfield.
This time he had the glove in front of that knee.
He said he's smart.
He made 33 starts last year for Seattle. If you recall, prior to last year, he was a free agent. He had a deal in place with the Dodgers. Physical didn't go as planned. The deal kind of fell apart, and he ended up re-signing with Seattle. Became a 16-game winner last year for him. Logged quite a few innings.
Looks like Velasco is going to be able to continue on. And you would think with Revere at first, with his speed, try to steal a base. Iwakuma is very quick to the plate, though. He's not allowed a stolen base in 2 attempts. For his career, he's only allowed 24 stolen base in 49 attempts. That's great numbers for a right-handed pitcher. Only 1 career pickoff, but it's all about how quick he is to the plate.
Pennington a base hit his first time up, takes low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Danny Espinosa, for his last 19, getting the night off tonight. Pennington getting the start at 2nd. Good lead for Revere at 1st.
Iwakuma really slowing down the pace now.
Revere's on the move. The pitch gets away from Zunino. Lost it on the transfer, and it's a ball, so it's a 2-1 count on Pennington. Looked like Revere had a pretty good jump.
Yes. But it was a high pitch, a pitch as a catcher you prefer. Try to be quick on the transfer. A real good jump. But unable to get the grip of the baseball, and now in scoring position for Cliff Pennington, who had a good at bat on a single against Iwakuma back in the 3rd inning.
Two one down and away. 3 balls and a strike. Maldonado on deck.
On a 3-1 count, knowing he has Maldonado on deck, and right-handed batters that struggle against Iwakuma this year. There's no guarantee he's going to get a fastball now, so you have to be patient if you're Cliff Pennington. We're going to talk about staying in the strike zone.
Chased a pitch, perhaps it was a little bit out of the zone. Full count. Man in scoring position for just the second time tonight for the Angels. Three-two. Pennington works the walk.
Good patient, didn't chase that pitch out of the strike zone. You knew Iwakuma was willing to try to get him to chase something, especially with a right-handed batter coming up to the plate now.
Maldonado popped out his first time up.
Maldonado, very aggressive first pitch. Iwakuma doesn't throw a lot of first pitch fastballs of right-handed batters, though. Hyundai key for this game. Talk about run up, trying to get a run up here, being down 1-0 here into the fifth inning. A couple on, good speed on the bases for one of the most consistent hitters we've seen so far in the lineup here, as far as putting the ball in play and hitting on the line. Martin Maldonado.
Alec Downzanino. Mike will have to walk it off. Tough job being a catcher.
Yes. The toughest position in baseball when you consider trying to catch pitches in the dirt, foul tips. Maldonado understands that as being a catcher for the Angels.
Revere at second, Pennington at first. 1-0 Seattle. We're in the fifth with one out. Got him swinging on an off-speed pitch. 2 down.
You can see why exactly he went after Pennington the way he did. Tried to get him to chase out his zone, knowing he had a right-handed batter coming up in Maldonado. It's a nasty little splitter to get a swing and miss. Now he's facing a guy with good career numbers, though. 9 for 25 for Escobar against Iwakuma.
Yanel, pardon me, 1 for 2 games so far. Base hit up the middle in the third inning.
His batting average up to 360 against Iwakuma. Takes that first pitch, break a ball for a strike.
Bounce to the left side. Segura's got it. And the Angels leave 2 men on base. 1-0 Seattle as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Join the Angels for Saturday night home games and enjoy a post-game fireworks show. For more info on Saturday night fireworks presented by Wells Fargo, just go to angels.com/promotions. The Angels will play one more game here in Seattle tomorrow night. Good old night game. Getaway. And then the Houston Astros at the Big A Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before the Angels go back out on the road for a quick 3-game set in Oakland. 8, 9, and 1. Zunino, Dyson, and Segura. Mike swinging at that first pitch. Seen quite a bit of that tonight against Ricky Nolasco, who has picked up 6 strikeouts. He's walked 1. He's allowed 4 hits.
So far in the game, he does have 2 one-pitch outs. So they're aggressive. He's throwing a lot of first-pitch strikes.
Just the 57th pitch thrown tonight by Ricky as we play here in the 5th. That's yanked down the left field line, and that is a fair ball. Hanging breaking ball. Zunino on his way to second with a leadoff double. His 5th of the season.
Talk about mistake pitches. At this moment for Zunino to attack and hit well. It's just drifted over the middle of the plate, and he stayed back on it well and lines it down in the corner for his 5th double of the season. Now with speed at the plate, the conversation is going to be the bunt defense here. And it's never a bad time, especially with a catcher at second base. He's trying to get a good secondary lead. If there is going to be a bunt put on, then maybe put a pickoff on first, as you see him trying to get a bigger secondary lead to be successful to go to third base if Dyson does indeed bunt.
Bunted foul. Dyson worked the walk, the only free pass issued by Ricky.
And the Seattle club, it doesn't necessarily believe in the sacrifice bunt. We saw it last night. We're seeing it here tonight.
Toward the mound, Nolasco's only plays to first. They get him as Zunino moves to third on the sacrifice.
And generally not their philosophy as far as sacrifice bunting. They've got the job done, and Zunino, third base, going to force the infield in here now. Difficult task, especially with Segura at the plate, who's been very aggressive himself early in counts.
Ricky's going to work from the full windup. Segura 0 for 2, a strikeout looking in the first, a double play ball in the third.
That's a good first pitch. Up and in, especially in an RBI situation. An aggressive hitter, generally will see a fastball and try to do damage. You run it in there and jam them.
Hammered to deep left field, and Seattle has taken a 3-0 lead. Another hanging breaking ball. Second home run allowed by Nolasco tonight.
And that baseball got out quickly to left field. Third home run of the season for Segura, his 10th RBI now with a 2-run home run. That baseball backed up. The location was supposed to be down and away. And a 2-run home run for Segura.
You surprised he's got more to the curveball in this inning than the slider?
I said I saw that the last game out too, where he's kind of he's gone away from his sinker slider mentality, more curveball, split finger fastball, and four seam fastball. There's a splitter again. That's back-to-back batters. He's been behind 2-0.
Three and 0 now. Three and 1. Cano on deck.
It's the 31st home run hit this season for the Mariners, with 2 tonight.
That was pulled into right field and another hit. Gamble with good speed will get the second on the double. Second of the night for Gamble. And again, not to take anything away from Ricky Nolasco, but he has been living on the edge for 4 innings. While he's picked up 6 strikeouts, there have been some loud outs to go with the loud hits.
And again, a missed spot in the strike zone. He wanted that one to go down and away. A two-seamer. That one drifted and had lateral movement, middle part of the plate. And Gamble, another good swing, and intentional walk here with Cano.
So Cruz will bat. He's hit the ball hard twice tonight.
But also, if you get something on the ground in the infield the way Nelson Cruz is running right now, that's going to be a double play. But his first 2 at bats, though, he's hit the ball hard twice.
Yeah, the first one by Escobar, the other one dented the wall in right center field. A long single. Action once again in the Angel pen. Petit was up last inning. And Yasmero back up once again.
A lot of times when you see that long walk out there and the long walk back, you wonder if they're just trying to give Petit some time.
But he just got up again. It's not like he got up with Nolasco to start this inning.
Boy, just looking at it from our angle right here, it seems like he's just trying to muscle up now to force that in there.
Gamble at second, Cano at first. 7 hits tonight for Seattle.
He's guessing the way Ricky's throwing right now. This could be his last batter. Another quick conversation.
I'd pull him now.
Yeah,
if there's a situation with Ricky and he's not feeling 100%, clearly a lot of baseballs are getting hit hard against him. Petit's ready to go. Give Petit a shot with a 2-0 count.
But it's going back to way through this baseball. He's throwing everything he has in there to be able to get to that spot. When you're trying to get to that glove side as a right-handed pitcher, that's when you really have to get extension on the throwing motion, and he didn't look comfortable doing so.
That was a mislocation with Maldonado set up outside. Ran back in.
See, he's trying to drive and get as much as he can in his lower part of his body to get something on that fastball. He's bringing that arm straight across his body. A lot of times as a pitcher, you're out in front over the front leg. When you bring it across your body, there's a little bit of discomfort there.
3-1 to Cruz. Broken bat roller through the left side. Base hit. Gamble's going to be waved in. And it's 4-0 Seattle as Cruz has picked up his 3rd hit of the night.
Yeah, he got him out in front, and off the end of the bat, breaks his bat, but strong enough to still find a way to get that through the infield as Mike Scioscia is now going to go to the bullpen.
Well, Petit's ready to go, and Mike Scioscia's making the call to the pen. Seattle with a couple of men on. They've scored 3 times here in the 5th, looking for more, and up 4-0.
Is being brought to you by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Seattle leads at 4-0. We're still in the bottom of the 5th. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Ricky Nolasco is done after just 4 1/3 tonight. This wasn't his night. 8 hits allowed, 4 runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. 1 was intentional. He's responsible for the 2 men on base. Robinson Cano at second, Nelson Cruz at first as Yusmeiro Petit comes in for the 2nd consecutive night. His 11th game of the season, no record, and an even 3 earned run average. He's going to face Kyle Seager, who has seen 2 pitches tonight, both from Nolasco, both resulting in fly ball outs.
Looked like he was determined to take that first pitch.
Petit, one of 6 relievers used last night for the Angels, went 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. Two balls, no strikes. Nope. Swinging 3-0. Valbuena fires to second for 1. The relay back is not in time.
That was pretty close.
Yep.
I think they'd even have a shot at that one. Valbuena got a lot on the throat, as did Simmons going back to the base. See Valbuena light on the throw, and then Anderson Simmons got a lot behind that one. Seager able to beat it out though. That's a middle infielder playing first base. Good range for Valbuena. Solid defender at first base.
Runners at the corners now for Danny Valencia, who has struck out twice, both looking. Seventh big league team for Danny Valencia the last 8 years. Playing a new position this season. First base. 8th man to bat here in the 5th. That's lined toward right. Slicing foul and out of play. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express and written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
Well, with Petit in the game here again, another outing for the relief corps. Going to have to get a number of outs. Coming in this game tonight, 97 2/3 innings pitched from the bullpen, which is the most in the game right now, averaging about 3.5, 3 1/3 to 3 2/3 innings pitched out of the bullpen each and every game. And the bullpen, for the most part, has been very, very good this season. Reason why the Angels are a couple games over 500. It's been very effective.
Slider gets Valencia. That's the 3rd out. So Seattle adds 3 here in the 5th and lead it 4-0 as we head to the top of the 6th.
Well in spring training, and coming out right now, we're playing as a team. You know, we had a little bit of a rough skid there, but for the most part, it's been pretty awesome. And you can see, I mean, anybody that's watching these games, it's a team that never quits, and we never feel like we're out of anything.
And I think he said that one so well, talking to them earlier today. This team, when you mentioned 11 comeback wins so far, they're 15. They've had that attitude from the get-go. We talked about it even in spring training, how they've come back in games even though they don't count. All of a sudden they've gained confidence. They've certainly come back well against Seattle. Now 4-0 here in the 6th, but here's the part of the lineup to try to get it going.
Calhoun trying to Pujols against Hisashi Iwakuma. Slow breaking ball for strike. 65 miles per hour. Colo for 2 with a fly ball to right and a ground ball to first.
to go fastball in. Showing some pretty good patience, knowing the need to get a base runner here going early. Lead off this inning with Trout. Coming up next for Cole Calhoun.
Full count.
Cole trying to get on base. 3-2 count here.
There's a payoff pitch. He rips one into right field and headed toward the corner. Gamble cuts it off. Cole's going to try to go to second. Good throw from Gamble, but Cole is in there safely with a leadoff double.
That's a good start. Once again, we talked about that attitude that they never feel they're out of a game, and right away, good at bat. 3-2 count, hooks it down the line for a double for Cole Calhoun, his 4th double. Stayed back well on that curveball and lines it into the right field. Gamble got a lot on that throw, but that quick slide in there by Cole gets him to scoring position.
Trout tonight 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a fly ball to right. Iwakuma at 76 pitches with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Now 4 hits allowed.
Remember those batting average the 3rd time through against Iwakuma, 375. Calhoun with a double. This is Trout's 3rd at bat now against Iwakuma.
Two balls, no strikes. Base hit by Cole to lead off the 6th inning. First time the Angels have had their leadoff man reach against the right-hander. They've had a couple of opportunities with men in scoring position. The action begins in the Mariner pen. Too often you see the weighted ball in the bullpen to get ready. It's usually more of a pregame thing, right?
Generally.
That is hammered out to straightaway center field. Going back on it is Dyson. That is gone. Big fly for Mike Trout. And the Angels get on the board. They trail it 4-2.
Now a 16-game hit streak for Trout. Mammoth home run to left center field. And just as Cole said, they never feel they're out of a game. Double home run. All of a sudden, Angels right back in the game here against Seattle. 2nd career home run, another breaking ball, very similar to the same spot that Cole doubled, and this one out to center field. It's career high 16-game hit streak for Trout. Albert with good numbers, 400 batting average against Seattle this season.
That's line to left field and another base hit.
And just like that, one swing of the bat by Valbuena, and you have a tie game as Albert continues to put up the numbers against Seattle. Scott Service Seeing his starter all of a sudden, that third time through, we talked about the batting average, 375, 3 straight hits to lead off this 6th. It's a triple away for the cycle against him in this inning. By the way, the AL Player of the Month for April, he's pretty good.
Here's Scott's service. Looks like that's going to be it for Iwakuma with 3 straight hits to start the 6th inning. Talk about the resiliency of this team. Never feel like they're out of a game regardless of what the score is. Always seem to battle. They've scored twice so far. Nobody out here in the 6th inning. Iwakuma's done. Halo's down 4-2. Is being brought to you by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast rate quote and see how much you can save. And by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. Go the distance with 84 miles per gallon and 566 total driving range. We're in the 6th inning with Seattle leading it by the score of 4-2. A double by Calhoun, home run by John, a single by Pujols chases Hisashi Iwakuma. And the Angels now will face a rookie who's making his major league debut. Emilio Pagan takes over on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. The youngster was pitching at AAA Tacoma, pitched in 6 games. No record of 3.27 ERA. 10th round pick by Seattle back in 2013 out of Belmont Abbey College at Belmont, North Carolina. He comes on with Pujols standing at first. And Luis Valbuena coming to the plate.
But it's going back to last year for Valbuena on an 0-0 count, putting the ball in play, batting average over 500. So look for him to attack that first pitch against the youngster here.
Fouls off the first one.
Well, he had a pretty good pitch to do some damage too, just underneath it.
Pagan with a good arm, picked up some strikeouts while at Tacoma. It was 11 innings, 18 punch outs, but also walked 7. One ball, one strike.
You see that 4-seam fastball, 92-93.
Pitch for Puerto Rico, WBC, 2 scoreless relief appearances. '47 saves in his minor league career. Two balls, one strike. You know, it kind of reminds me of with that little, almost a drop it drive, Kevin Jepson. little across his body.
And then he gets that, creates that arm angle. He throws that to be able to run that fastball. We've seen him running the fastball upstairs. To do that, you have to drop your elbow just a bit. Guys that work on that sinker down in the zone generally bring that elbow up, and then that 3/4 delivery to work downstairs.
Check in on Albert.
See that stolen base last night? I was just going to say, he's laughing in the dugout. See?
He's letting Cano know, see?
Yeah.
That's what I did. I've planted that in the back of your guys' heads. You never know.
Try to get that walking lead again.
2-1. High fastball fouled back.
All 4 of those pitches been upstairs. Going back upstairs with another fastball.
A little flare out toward right field.
He's going to throw his glove at it.
If he was going to throw his glove.
You know, if you throw your glove at it and hits the baseball, you're rewarded a couple bases on that one.
Oh, look at
First
Albert
hit.
feeling pretty good. Valbuena picks up his first hit as an Angel.
So that's 4 straight hits to start off the 6th inning.
He thought about it. A well-placed little flare into the outfield for Valbuena. First hit as an Angel. It looks like a line drive in the box score, though. All of a sudden, the tying runners are on base for the Angels here.
Andrelton Simmons 0 for 2. Fly ball to center to come back into the mound.
First breaking ball we've seen from Pagan. All fastballs so far. A slider.
One ball, one strike. Just caught the inside corner.
Well, that's the pitch. If he gets that again, that's the pitch of Simmons can really hit hard. Looks like he's going to go slider potentially. Going away.
Pulls at third, Valbuena at first. Simmons takes another strike on the inside part of the plate. 1-2.
Very important now for Simmons to get this run home. And try to shorten up the swing. That fastball just a little bit off the inside corner. But back-to-back fastballs at 93 inside.
Ben Revere on deck.
Birthday boys hit the ball hard twice, 1 for 2 so far.
One-two to Andrelton. Break the ball in the dirt, smothered by Zunino.
Good block by Zunino. Always very solid as far as keeping the baseball in front, especially whether it's a split finger fastball or a slider. He's had a lot of work in his Mariner career dealing with Felix Hernandez and his pitches in the dirty with Kuma, Paxton, now Pagan keeping that slider in front of him. Going back in.
And that's out toward left field, hit well. Heredia going back near the wall. He jumps up and he made a terrific catch. Oh my, robbing Simmons. It'll go down as a sacrifice fly, and Valbuena back to first. It's 4-3.
That's an unbelievable play. And not only to catch that, to be able to hold on to that baseball, the full impact off the wall. He's running back full speed. As you see, his whole body slams into the wall. This ball was scalded by Simmons. Back on the wall and able to maintain control. It looked like a little bit of a bobble there when it hits the wall, but what a play by Heredia. Would have given the Angels the lead on that swing. Camera Maven last night, Heredia tonight. As Albert scores the third run now this inning. Right back in the game.
Simmons picks up his 9th RBI of the season. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Revere.
Some real good swings in this inning. Cameron said, "Why, I did that last night." And it was Heredia last night that Maven caught that.
Line to the alley in left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Turning and heading toward third is Valbuena. Revere with his 2nd hit of the night.
It's pretty good base running too by Valbuena. Because Dyson has a good throwing arm, but because he's going to his left like that, I would say he's going to his right, it's a more difficult throw. And just coming back from that hamstring issue, he's able to challenge him and got into scoring position himself. And Mel Stoudemire Jr. going to go out and talk to the youngster. 2-hit game by Revere, the birthday boy, swinging the bat.
So Valbuena's at third, Revere at first. Revere already with a stolen base tonight. Cliff Pennington's on at the plate. Then on board twice with a single in the third, a walk in the 5th.
Oh, he came back from this break in this inning, and Cole Calhoun was talking about that earlier today, how resilient this team is and how they always feel they're part of a game. And right away, have an opportunity to man at third with 1 out to tie this game up.
Breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. You wonder, this inning started with Cole hitting a double into right field. If there was any residual effect of Simmons hitting that ball off of Iwakuma's knee in the 5th inning.
I was actually pretty surprised he was actually going out there. 6, and ends up being the 3rd time through. His numbers anyhow weren't real good. Certainly didn't help it out with those swings he had against him before being taken out of the ball game. He's got service. Eventually takes Iwakuma out, but there was 3 really good swings against him in the 6th.
Double, home run, and a single. All 3 of these runs charged to Iwakuma, so the book closed on him in his 5 innings plus. Action once again going in the Mariner pen now.
That's a good take. Trying to elevate a pitch, to drive in the air deep enough, at the very least, bring Valbuena home with the tying run.
McVinson getting ready.
Seen him a lot already this year.
Pennington's the 7th man to come to the plate here in the 6th inning. 3 runs in. Halos down a run. Seems like throws to first base mandated from the dugout to get Vincent ready.
Count where you might see Ben Revere on the move.
Takes off, and Pennington shoots one to left center field. The hit and run works to perfection. Valbuena scores, Revere to third, and we are tied up at 4.
Unbelievable what this club has done, and this looking in that dugout from here, going to get a lot of high fives for Valbuena getting his first hit as an Angel, and right away this club responds right back and ties the game up with 4 runs here in the 6th. And with Ben Revere on the move, Cliff Pennington stays back and lines that ball into left center field. Scott Servais going to go back down to the bullpen with that swing for Cliff Pennington, who had that big walk-off hit against Seattle, that amazing comeback a few weeks ago at home.
Rough major league debut for Emilio Pagan. He will depart. 4 runs in. Trout with a 2-run blast to straightaway center field. The Angels so far in this inning picked up 6 hits, looking for more. We're tied at 4. Yet another come from behind for the Angels. They continue to do a terrific job, second in the American League, only to the Houston Astros, who have 12 come from behind victories. Now the Angels still have a ways to go here. We're just in the 6th inning, but it's been amazing to watch these guys continue to come back.
How confident they are at the plate, even being behind, especially against a pitcher they've had very little success against him in his career. Had a tough time against him tonight, yet you look up and it's a tie game with a chance to take the lead here.
3 of those 12 for Houston, by the way. 5 or more runs coming from behind. Revere standing at third base. Pennington at first. Nick Vincent on the bump. And it's Martin Maldonado at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a strikeout. Vincent pitched last night, just a third of an inning, gave up a hit. Check in on Pennington. Cliff, by the way, on board 3 times tonight with 2 singles and a walk. The RBI is single, notching his 3rd run batted into the season.
You always have that possibility of a safety squeeze here also, especially with that speed at third, and Maldonado the way he can handle the bat.
He bunts it foul. That's what they were looking for.
I think he could go through the signs again. It would be surprising if they tried it again, but you never know with she's comfortable with Maldonado bunting. And your job in a safety squeeze and as a runner is you make sure that ball is down. It's not a suicide squeeze, it's make sure that ball is down and you push it towards the first base side.
Does it again, pushes it toward first. Revere had no read, and Valencia applies the tag. Not sure where Ben was at. He wasn't very far off the base as Pennington ends up at second base, 2 down.
And right there, a little conversation between Valencia and Maldonado on that strong tag at him. Bench is made clear here.
Umpiring crew trying to do their best to just kind of keep everyone at bay.
And the bench and the bullpen's working their way in after everyone's starting to work their way back to the dugout.
That seemed to escalate in a hurry.
Yeah, it seemed like Valencia had a pretty hard tag on Maldonado. I don't know if he said something to him, and then Maldonado didn't like what it was said.
Runners at second and third.
See the bunt. Not much of it. That wasn't too hard of a tag, and
Looks like Maldonado said something. Danny said something back.
or is
Told him to
Vincent
get
saying
back.
something in there too?
Yeah. But that looked more like Maldonado kind of, as he was trying to get out of the way here, kind of. That doesn't look like anything.
No, it's more of a
Out of the ordinary.
frustration too, but Maldonado not getting that bunt exactly where he wanted to. He wanted to get it down the first base line, but he bunted a little bit too hard. Still 2 runners in scoring position here for Escobar, who last season was very good in these scenarios.
9th man at the plate, the 6th inning. First one's outside. Escobar 1 for 3 with a single.
Talking about the tag up around the upper part of his body and the chin area.
I don't think Valencia meant anything by it. He's also tagging and looking,
And
at a runner.
to see where the runner's
Yeah.
at exactly.
And that's driven out to center field. Dyson giving chase. Still going back. He's near the wall. It's over his head off the fence. 2 runs in. Escobar in at second base with a 2 RBI double, and the Halos are on top 6-4.
And just like that, how quickly this game has changed from a 4-0 deficit to a 6-4 lead.
Manny, way to go, man.
So good in these positions. Last year got a fastball right in the heart of the plate, and he lines it off the wall. Not easy to get anything by Dyson in center, but he's able to do so, and it gets away from him for a 2 RBI double. And Maldonado liking that play right there. 2-hit performance by Escobar tonight. Oh, by the way, Cole Calhoun led off this inning.
Doubled into right field. Foul tips that one. Double for Escobar, 6th of the year. Cole, the 10th man to bat here in the 6th inning. Cole got it started with the double. It's 4th of the season.
Keep in mind, Heredia went over the wall to bring back a would-be home run from Simmons. That was a great play by Heredia. Seattle's bullpen ERA against the Angels coming into this game, 11.48.
Yeah, their bullpen ERA just on the season at 5.84. It's been a tough stretch for them to start the year. You know how it is with bullpen ERAs. It doesn't take much for that thing to inflate because
especially
of the
early in
limited
the
amount of innings. Exactly.
Yep.
Trout on deck. Escobar at second. 2-2, and Cole went around on a hard breaking pitch, and that'll do it for the Angels. But they sent 10 men to the plate, scoring 6 runs. And all of a sudden, this game has turned around with the Halos up 6-4. The 6th inning. Yusmeiro Petit, who came on in the 5th inning and finished off that 5th inning for Ricky Nolasco, will face the bottom third of the order. Heredia, Zunino, and Dyson. We're waiting for Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief, to emerge from the dugout. He's just now back at first base. First pitch fastball in for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Heredia twice has struck out, once looking, once swinging. One of 6 strikeouts for Ricky Nolasco. Breaking ball outside. Heredia limiting the Angels on the offensive side, robbing Simmons at the top of the 6th inning.
I mean, you see how much his body moved when he slammed into that wall. He's going full speed when he leaped up and made that catch to bring back a would-be home run by Anderson Simmons. End up being a sac fly for Simba.
Breaking ball, foul back, 1 ball and 2 strikes still. Those are always the toughest catches when you are on a dead run and having to leap up. We saw it in Baltimore a couple of times with Trout and J.J. Hardy. We saw it Peter Borges do it in Chicago, going to his right to the alley in left center field against the White Sox.
Real strong wrist to keep that baseball in the glove.
Oh, a little flare down the line, and that is a foul ball.
When you're making contact with a wall like that, with all your weight going against the wall, it's very difficult to control the baseball in your glove unless you have strong hands and wrists.
And I happen to be in Texas. The Rangers playing the Astros, and Gary Matthews Jr. leaping up at center field. making the incredible catch.
It wasn't like he camped underneath that. He's in a full sprint to go back on that wall.
Another foul. Second time this season the Angels have scored 6 runs in an inning, both against Seattle. Fastball got him looking. Down goes Heredia. One away.
Third time he has struck out. Valencia has struck out 3 times also. So 6 strikeouts between the two of them and 6 at bats. 2 looking for Heredia, 2 looking for Valencia. Fastball painted on the outside corner.
Zunino doubled his last time up. That was his leadoff man of the 5th. 1 for 2 tonight to double his 5th of the season. No balls, 2 strikes. Got a fastball right down Broadway, 2 down.
Talk about painting the fastball. You have a pitcher that has a very good assortment of secondary pitches, and they're looking off speed, and he's painted fastballs back-to-back batters. Runs it back, catches the corner at 90. And if you're at home, you're a youngster, it's all about location and moving that fastball in to set up your secondary pitches. Still the best pitch in the game is your fastball.
Dyson with a walk in the sacrifice bunt. No official at bat for him tonight. Tried to bunt his way on. Fouls it.
Always part of his game. And you look up with 2 outs. Is that the right decision? Yes, with Dyson, with his speed, he's trying to get on base. That's that change up.
Jose Alvarez getting ready.
Boy, change up the pitch before at 81 and a fastball late on a fastball at 90. Differential in speeds and spotting both pitches well. 1 in, 1 away.
One-two pitch. Breaking ball got him looking, and Yusmeiro Petit strikes out the side. That,
all 3 looking.
Is a shutdown inning. We head to the 7th. 6-4 Halos.
Break brought to you by T-Mobile. A lot of awards for the month of April. Dallas Keuchel, AL Pitcher of the Month, outstanding 5-0, 1-2-1. Ryan Zimmerman, 420 National League Player of the Month, 29 RBI with 11 home run. Von Nova threw the ball exceptionally well, 3-2, great ERA, 1 walk, 22 strikeouts. And the AL winner in the 6th inning, Mike Trout, with 1 on. Well, no one on anymore with that home run to dead center field. 16-game hit streak going now. Career high for Trout.
Trout, Pujols, and Valbuena here. Nick Vincent back out on the bump. Oh, 0-2 count. John 1 for 3 with that home run as he'll go down swinging to start the 7th.
Ran a couple fastballs up and in on him. Even though not in the 90s, but located well for Vincent. See location and hit. The target set by Zunino.
Albert 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Ground ball towards short. Segura has it. 2 down. Valbuena picked up his first hit as an Angel in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. Pagan, by the way, in his big league debut, going a third of an inning with 3 hits allowed, 3 runs, all 3 earned. Kuma charged with 3 runs in his 5 innings. Two balls and no strikes. Nobody warming for the Angels as of right now. Petit just struck out the side at the 6th inning. Segura, Gamble, Cano coming up for Seattle in the 7th. Now ball up the line. That is a foul ball.
Yeah, you wonder if Mike Scioscia will try to get at least 1 more out of Petit. Segura, the right-handed batter, before a couple lefties in a row. Talked about how many innings Mike Scioscia's had to get out of the bullpen. But it's been some very good ones for the most part. Here's Petit. Excellent shutdown inning.
Ground ball. This one's towards Segura. The shift on. That's a 6-3 put out. The Angels are down in order. Stretch time here in Seattle. Halos up 6-4. The 7th inning. Folks, MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Just go to MLB.TV for details. Top of the order, Gene Segura facing Yusmeiro Petit. His action begins to crank up in the Angels bullpen. Segura 1 for 3 with a home run. 2-run shot in the 5th.
Boy, is he spotting his pitches.
All 3 home runs Segura's hit this year come against right-handed pitching. His first home run at home this year. One and 2.
The corner again. Almost the exact same spot. The first pitch barely missed. And now Petit has that opportunity to expand the strike zone, maybe a little bit off the corner.
Blake Parker. Jose Alvarez. Two.
Muscled up a little bit on that one at 92.
Broke his back.
Break the ball right off the end of the bat. Your friend Manny Aklick got that piece of the bat. Third base coach. Seattle.
Casey Candell at first base. 2-2. Reaching for it. Keeps his at-bat alive. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And 5 men left on base for the Angels tonight. 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. 5 stranded by Seattle.
Maybe going to his changeup here.
Got off the mask, ricocheting back over the screen. Ground ball toward the hole. Santa's going to have to hurry. Got him. 1 down.
Well, he got a lot on that throw. The backhand. Here comes Mike Scioscia. And now the bullpen looks like Jose Alvarez be coming in. What a job by Yusmeiro Petit tonight.
Came on with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Checked out with 1 out of the 5th inning. And had a fantastic performance tonight. Pitcher of record for the Angels. A pitching change with the Angels up. Go head-to-head, the day's hottest sports topic. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific on FS1. As Jose Alvarez takes over on the mound, there's Mero Petita did a terrific job in his 2 innings of relief, picking up 4 strikeouts. Alvarez with 1 out here in the 7th and nobody on. We've got a couple of lefties up, Gamble and Cano.
Gamble's had a good game so far, a couple of doubles and a strikeout.
First time in his brief big league career he's had a multi-double game. Jose pitched last night, went 1/3 of an inning. 16th game. Lifted foul.
A little bit late on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Alvarez.
Good fastball, 1-2.
I think now he has him set up for a breaking ball going down and away off the outside corner. Tried to get him a chase after that, but pretty good take by Gamble.
Called strike 3, got him looking, froze him with a fastball away, 2 down.
Credit Martin Maldonado with that one. He came right with a fastball. He saw how Gamble took the break ball to pitch before. It goes right back to a fastball in that outside corner and gets the call. Framed well, outside corner.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Robinson Cano at the plate. Home run in the 1st, a fly ball to center the 3rd, an intentional walk in the 5th. 2 for 11 in his career against Alvarez.
That's 8 called 3rd strikes today by Angel pitching against Seattle. You got to give a little bit of credit to Maldonado and what he's done behind the plate.
11 total strikeouts for the Halos, the pitching side. Popped him up. Escobar and Simmons going out. Unell calling for it, makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 7th. We'll head to the 8th with the Angels leading at 6-4.
One of those first guys, top step, Yusmeiro Petit. Hope you stick around after this game for Angels Live, brought to you by your SoCal Mazda dealers. I'll be joined by Jose Mota. Find out from Mike Scioscia what he thought about Ricky Nolasco. Remains to be seen what happens the rest of the way. The bullpen for the Halos will be key as we go back upstairs to Victor and Mark. Guys, Angels have the lead, so I do not have to, no offense to the Grasshoppers, they're delicious here at Safeco, but I do not have to eat any of them under these circumstances.
You didn't have to eat them last night either. You chose to do it.
No, listen, I said I was going to do it, and I had to.
You did. No, we'll give you all that credit, Patrick. That was a heck of a job by that.
Credit for setting yourself up, Patrick. Attaboy.
Thank you.
Gene Machie on in relief of Nick Vincent here in the 8th inning. Simmons, Revere, and Pennington coming up for the Halos. 22 pitches last night. Halos with 10 hits on the night. Simmons 0 for 2. Did have a sacrifice fly. That's that play that Heredia made in the 6th inning, picking up his 9th run batted in. Ground ball to short. One down. Vincent, although he gave up the double to Escobar in the 6th inning, did restore some order. Leaving in 2/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. There's Ben Revere, who's having a nice 29th birthday with a couple of hits and a fly ball to right. He's also stolen a base.
Scored a run.
Running foul. Caught the outside part of the plate. 1-2. Looks like Blake Parker getting ready. At the bottom of the 8th inning.
So looking to add on and separate a little bit here. Still have a 2-run lead, but you want to keep adding on against Seattle.
That's out to center. Dyson's there. 2 down. Take a look at the in-game box score for the Angels. Multi-hit game by Escobar, Revere, and Pennington. Pennington's been on board 3 times tonight. He's coming up for another plate appearance. Everyone picked up a hit, the exception being to Simmons and Maldonado.
Simmons with the sac fly. Would have been a 3-run home run, but Heredia made an unbelievable play on that.
Ball and strike. Seattle in the bottom of the 8th has Cruz, Seager, and Valencia coming up. Pennington shoots one out the left. Heredia back, curls around, makes the catch, and the Angels down in orders. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, still 6-4 Angels. Blake Parker on in relief of Jose Alvarez, who went 2/3 of an inning, picked up a strikeout and finished off the 7th. 15th game for Blake, 0-1 record at 2.19 ERA. Just like pretty much everybody on both sides pitched last night. They'll get Cruz, Seager, and Valencia for Seattle here in their half of the 8th inning.
Parker, a former Mariner himself.
Nelson Cruz 3 for 3 with 3 singles and an RBI. High fastball cut on and missed.
Yeah, challenged him upstairs with that heater.
They pitched last year in the organization known as the Mariners. One game at the major league level before being placed on waivers. The Yankees picked him up. One ball and strike. They're pitching 38 games at Tacoma, their AAA affiliate. RBI that Cruz picked up in the 5th, his 25th of this season. He's got himself a 12-game hitting streak now. One and two. Down goes Cruz. Just got some fastballs. Couldn't catch up to it. One away.
Well, after the fastball, it looked like Cruz was anticipating potentially a split finger fastball there. Instead, heater by him. All in the outer half. Runs that one off the plate. Swing and miss. 2 upper part of the strike zone away and 2 off the plate. But another strikeout. 22 strikeouts now in 12 2/3 innings pitched for Parker this season.
Kyle Seager 0 for 3 tonight. Takes a fastball for a strike.
First off-speed pitch that Parker has thrown, his first 6.
Hit toward the left side. Simmons can't handle it. Rolled over that glove.
I was going to say, hopefully that wrist is okay. He looks like he's shaking up a little bit. As normal with Simmons, he feels he should get every single thing hit his way. The dive, and he rolls over on his wrist. Seems to be okay. Conversation with Escobar and Pennington. Valencia at the plate. Last time Maldonado and Valencia were close, that was at play at first, and bench is cleared.
Valencia takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts.
Twice looking.
Ground ball to the right side, a base hit. So 2 on here with 1 out. And Heredia coming to the plate.
That pitch was away, but it was elevated, and Valencia able to punch that ball by Pennington in the right field for a hit. First contact made in the game for Valencia after 3 strikeouts.
Heredia tonight 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts himself. So back-to-back hits with 1 out here in the 8th. A 2-run lead for the Angels. Heredia with good speed at the plate. Chopper toward the middle, should be 2. Pennington gloves it, fires to first for 1, and that's all they get. Kind of surprised that he didn't try to get the.
You got to get the lead
that's
runner.
The tying run.
Yes, exactly.
What do you care about the guy at first? You got to get that tying run for out number 2. Instead,
and
second
and
third.
He knew he made a mistake on that when he got an out, but you have a chance at potentially a double play ball. And at the very least, you want to get that out at second.
That was Simmons at the bag. Why not give it to Anderson to get a shot at the double play ball?
And you see Simmons right there, especially with that arm he has, and he wasn't even quite in the picture. That could have been a double play. Hopefully Parker is able to pick up Cliff, who's had a solid game offensively tonight.
Taylor Motter is going to pinch hit for Mike Zunino. He finishes the game going 1 for 3. Motter at .225 batting average, 5 home runs, 13 runs batted in, 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter.
I don't see this often, but this is a situation where they're just going to get right back in to talk about what they need to do on the defensive side here, and how they're going to approach the hitter at the plate. But more, this is a situation where Mike Scioscia's talking to Parker, saying, hey, this is an opportunity to pick up Cliff Pennington and get through this inning with no damage.
Of the 16 hits that Motter has picked up this year have gone for extra bases, 7 doubles, 5 home runs. Second and third, 2 outs, tying run at second base. No balls and a strike. Lower part of the strike zone. Breaking ball, nice block by Maldonado.
Not an easy pitch to block. Maldonado got his body over just enough and the glove down to keep that from getting away from him. That curveball was in the left-handed batter's box.
One, breaking ball in there, 1-2.
That splitter down lower part of the strike zone.
Dyson on deck. There's the 1-2. Breaking ball misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pretty good take. That was a nasty pitch too, especially after Parker was able to throw the pitch before in the strike zone to take that pitch. Tracked that one pretty well.
Two. Motter fouls it back. Pretty good swing on a pitch that was up. Seager at third base, and Valencia at second. Back-to-back singles for them with 1 out. They both advanced 90 feet on the ground out by Heredia. Another 2-2. The dirt, full count. Parker ready. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball, and that misses. They're loaded up.
See if this pitch gets the lower part of the strike zone just a little bit off the plate. Pretty good at bat. Motter not chasing any of those pitches out of the strike zone. Now you have a force out at every base, especially with that speed at the plate. Becomes very important.
Just what you didn't want to see either. A prolonged 8th inning that all of a sudden will allow Cano to come up in the 9th should we get to that point. Dyson denied a walk, a sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout looking. No place to put him. No balls and a strike. Infield and the outfield pretty much straight up, no shift. Revere shallow and left. No balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. That's out toward shallow right field. That's going to fall in, and we're going to have ourselves a tie game. Dyson ends up at second, and we're knotted up at 6. So Seattle battles back like it did last night. They tie it up and still batting here in the 8th inning. A broken bat, 2 RBIs single by Dyson.
Went with a split finger fastball, but it was up. And most flares in the outfield are going to be elevated. You can see a location, belt high on the splitter, out in front, but it was elevated and fell perfectly in the outfield in front of Cole Calhoun to tie the game up.
And how big is that play now by Pennington at second base on the ground ball hit by Heredia. Gene Segura 1 for 4 with a home run in the 5th, and that's up and in. Action beginning now in the Angel pen.
That's a pitch he hits well. Puts pounders, getting ready in the bullpen.
Brooks warmed up last night, did not get into a game. Guerra finishing off with 2 innings. 1-1 pitch. And that's a shot down the line, but slicing foul. 1-2. One, two now. Upstairs. Angels in the 9th will have 9-1-2. Edwin Diaz has been loosening for Seattle. Mariner pitching has retired 7 straight since a double by Escobar in the 6th. Two ground ball left side. Escobar can't get it. 2 runs in, and Seattle leads it 8-6. A 4-run 8th inning for Seattle has turned this game around for the M's with 2 outs.
And this baseball just getting by Escobar into the outfield.
That ball's got to be caught. A little hesitation or stutter by Escobar.
I don't think he gets Segura at first, but it still keeps a run from scoring. He doesn't get Segura at first base with his speed.
So the Angels had a big 6-run inning, and here in the 8th, Seattle has scored 4 times and will chase Blake Parker here, as he just could not record the 3rd and final out. A pitching change with Seattle on top, 8-6. to get Ben Gamble. This will be his 4th game this year. 3 1/3 innings, 4 earned runs. Mentioned he warmed up last night but did not get into a game. He's going to face a left-hand hitting Ben Gamble. A couple things stand out here in this 8th inning. The bouncer that Heredia hit with runners at first and second that Pennington decided to throw to first on. And then the walk to the pinch hitter Taylor Motter.
Yeah, you got ahead, and then he didn't chase any of those splitters out of the strike zone, but still, you look back at what Parker had as far as fastball and a velo. Even the pitch to Dyson, a splitter after he had thrown 2 fastballs by him on the outside part of the plate. That's one of those ones you can even go a little bit further off the plate. Or if you're going to throw the split, you have to think in terms of bouncing that pitch and trust the Maldonado.
Segura had a walking, running start to second base, and it wasn't even close.
Get us going, and Pounders did not pay attention to him.
One ball, one strike.
Pounders trying to keep it right here to 2-run deficit. The Angels have come back so often and have come back very well against Diaz.
Evens up the count at 2-2. Maldonado, Escobar, Calhoun in the 9th.
And if someone gets on, the reigning AL Player of the month for April, and Mike Trout.
Gamble will go down swinging, but the damage is done. A 4-run 8th inning. Halos will head to the 9th, trailing it 8-6.
The 8th, 8-6, and their closer, Diaz, in the game, has struggled in 2 games so far against the Angels. His overall ERA 4.35, but in 2 games, 1 innings pitched, 3 walks, 4 earned runs for Diaz against the Angels this season. Fastball is going to be 96 to 100. Very good slider, an occasional changeup.
The Angels will send up Jeffrey Marte to pinch hit for Martin Maldonado to start this 9th inning. See if the Halos have some more magic in their bats.
See if the comeback kids can do it again. Their neighbor down in Anaheim, the Ducks, came back in their game and won. Now even up their series at 2 apiece.
Marte 0 for 1 in his career against Diaz. Maldonado finished the game 0 for 3. First one up and in. Watch out. A little chin music.
Looking out over the plate, runs that fastball up and in.
Diaz this year, a 4.35 ERA, 13 strikeouts, 6 walks, 10 and a third. Ground ball foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Diaz burst onto the scene last year. 18 saves, 21 opportunities. Struck out 88 batters in 51 and a third innings. Here's the 1-1 downstairs.
And that's what you want to do. You want to create doubt. You want to get that leadoff batter on against Diaz, and all of a sudden he'll remember how little success he's had against the Angels this season.
Two on to Marte. Fastball right down the pipe. About as good a pitch as you're going to get from Diaz.
And that's the zone where Marte can do some damage. Now more than likely you're going to see that slider. Although they might run a fastball up and in again.
No, Gary Cedarstrom brings him up on a fastball up and in.
Looked like he was trying to get out of the way of that one, up and in.
1 down. Technically he did.
Yeah.
Here's Escobar, 2 for 4 with a single and a 2 RBI double. 2 for 3 in his career against Diaz with a double. Fire this one into the seats. No balls and a strike.
And he gets on Cole Calhoun last night against Diaz. 2-run home run. Worked the 3-1 count and crushed one out the right.
0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking the ball down goes Escobar, 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Diaz and the Angels down to the last out.
And now it's time for the Land Rover above and beyond player of the game. Segura tonight, 2-run home run and the go-ahead 2-run single in the 8th inning. Solid all-around effort tonight by Segura on the offensive side for Seattle.
Cole tonight 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored in that 6-run 6th inning. Credit Seattle for not rolling over, dropping a 4 spot in the 8th.
And going back to last night on a 3-1 count with 1 on. Cole drives that ball way out to right field.
Down and in on that pitch, and you can see the first 2 tonight against Cole away. One. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Trout on deck.
What you want, an opportunity to get Trout to the plate. Through Cole Calhoun, get on base any way you can. Trout with a 2-run home run himself back in the 6th inning.
That's hit out to right field. Chasing Gamble back near the wall. This one is gone. Big fly for Cole Calhoun for the 2nd straight night. And the Halos trail it by 1.
And just like Cole said, there's never any give up on this team, and he certainly didn't. Back-to-back games with home runs against Diaz. And it does indeed give Trout an opportunity to swing the bat as Cole stays hot. Double home run tonight. And again, this pitch is down, but a little bit out over the plate, but down. Back-to-back games for home runs for Trout against the closer for Seattle.
Trout tonight 1 for 4. 2-run home run in the 6th inning off Iwakuma. Breaking ball, and that hits him. So the tying run at first base, and Albert will get an opportunity.
And speed at first base in Mike Trout. By the way, 3 straight games for home runs for Cole. Homer in that last game for the day off down in Texas.
Down to center field.
Well, all of a sudden that doubt has definitely creeped back in the mind of Diaz, and Mel Stoudemire Jr. going to go out and talk to him. Albert 1 for 3. It's Diaz. Does Trout go, or does he allow Albert an opportunity to swing the bat?
Albert 1 for 4 tonight. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, right there, Albert is setting him up to go back inside again.
Two outs, the tying run at first, and that's Trout.
Oh, when he set him up in, and he had a good swing at that pitch in the inner half. Albert will do that on occasion, and he got that fastball in, and he just missed it. What a swing.
Outfield playing deep all the way around with Trout at first. 1-1. Cute foul on the breaking ball.
Gotta believe he's going right back with another slider. This might be the time if you're Trout, you're going.
Take a shot.
Yep. Anticipate this slider being well out of the strike zone.
Diaz ready. Trout doesn't go. Albert just got a piece of that slider. Cues it foul. Diaz, 18 pitches, struck out the first 2 batters. Gave up the home run to Calhoun to draw the Angels within a run. Then hit Trout.
Shook off. Fastball in for a slider away.
Albert goes down swinging to the Mariners. Pick up game 2 by the final of 8-7.
Well, the Angels came right back in the ninth with the home run, and then Trout on base, and Albert had a good swing on the second pitch, but then a couple nasty sliders by Diaz, able to finish off the game. The Angels made a good comeback early on, scoring 6 in the 6th to take the lead, but Seattle a big 4 spot in the 8th inning to take this game 2, even up the series at 1 apiece.
But G picks up the win for Seattle. Blake Parker suffers the loss. Edwin Diaz picks up the save as Seattle evens up the series at a game apiece with the 8-7 victory. Stick around. Angels Live post game with Patrick O'Neill and Jose Mota will break it down for you. That's coming up next.